Hello, my name is Rachel Coletta and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about energetic cords, what they are, why they happen, and how you can release them. So to begin, what is cording? So cording is an energetic attachment whereby there's an energetic exchange taking place between you and between the energy on the other side of the cord. Your energy is feeding off of the attachment, as is theirs. So this can happen with individuals, this can happen with groups of people, this can happen with physical or non-physical energies, this can happen with, physical possessions. And the energy that's being exchanged can be physical, emotional, mental, or even just a general life force energy that's going back and forth. So it's also important to note that these energetic attachments are mutual and energy is going in both directions. It's not the case that there is just one energy that is pulling energy off of somebody else. There has to be a mutual exchange and some level of your consciousness, of both parties' consciousnesses that are involved in this exchange, that have given permission or have consented to this exchange. So these cords can be beneficial in the sense that, at least initially, they will likely raise your vibration. So you can think about, as an example, a romantic relationship where maybe you're somebody who's really been craving connection and you meet someone, you get involved in a romantic relationship, you're feeling that amazing connection and there is this attachment or cording or energetic exchange going on, but maybe you're so excited and so invested and have been craving this connection for so long that you're also giving up a part of yourself to be involved in this exchange or in this relationship. So at first it's going to feel great because you've manifested and you've actualized something that you've been wanting or that you've been craving. But over time, energetic attachments can become heavy or draining or start to feel like some of your energy is leaking out. And that's when you know that it's time to address a cord and it is time to release it. So again, to reiterate, remember that courting is a two-way street and that both parties have granted permission. So simply adopting the perspective that somebody else is, sucking or leeching your energy, it prevents you from taking responsibility for your consent in the courting. And lots of times I see that people have this perspective where, somebody's like an energy vampire and they're sucking their energy. And I think it's really important to also point out, even in vampiric lore, they have to be granted permission to come into your home. And it is the same way with courting, that on some level of your being, you have given permission because there's been a way in which you are benefiting. And that's okay. It's okay to have that experience. Oftentimes when there's something in ourselves where we feel that there's a little bit of an energetic gap or hole, the first step to filling that is looking externally. And through looking externally, we go through a process or a cycle where we come back to ourselves and we realize that looking for something externally, while it might have given us an initial boost, ultimately drains our energy, and it is then our responsibility to address it and be able to give this energy to ourselves in a way where we are more fulfilled and there's not this push and pull of this energetic exchange. So if you're feeling drained or constriction or heaviness or even some ick around your energetic exchange with someone or something, and you suspect that there's courting going on, the very first step to releasing that courting is opening yourself up to honestly and openly being able to see how you have benefited from this exchange. So another example might be that, let's say that you've come into contact with a friend who, always seems to be having problems or issues, and initially it felt really good for you to be the person who is there supporting and the listening ear. And as time has gone on, you're noticing that you're feeling really drained by these conversations and these interactions. So maybe by being honest and open with yourself, you realize that you were gaining something by feeling like, you know, you were the hero or the rescuer or the person with all the right answers, that in some way that was bolstering or benefiting your sense of self-worth or the way that you are viewing yourself. So that would be an honest and open way to recognize how you have been benefiting from that exchange. Then it is important to make a commitment to give yourself or nurture yourself in the way that you have been letting yourself be nurtured through maybe an energetic exchange that is no longer feeling beneficial. So how can you bolster your own self-worth where you don't need to be someone who's jumping in to save or rescue or be the one with all of the answers to feel worthy and feel good about yourself? How can you give yourself that same support that you've been giving to someone else? Okay, so step 2 would be to simply rescind your permission in the energetic exchange. Remember that it has to be a two-way street. Both parties have to consent to it. So if you rescind your permission, you don't need any agreement or involvement on the party on the other side of the cord. You simply rescinding your permission is sufficient to basically break up that contract that has been created there. So next, I recommend doing a visualization exercise. Lots of people in the spiritual community talk about like cord cutting and, you know, visualizing the cords and cutting them with scissors. And if that practice works for you or feels good for you, then go for it. I'd like to offer something slightly different. I've personally found that cutting cords can feel very it can almost have a bit of like a violent energy to it. It can feel very like severing and cold. And on top of that, the actual energetic root of the cord, if you've cut it, can actually still stay implanted, almost rooted in the auric system. So again, going back to this realization that this is a two-way street, what I like to do is close my eyes and visualize the cord. And you can ask yourself where in your body you feel this cord. Lots of times you might feel it actually attached to a certain chakra system, sometimes attached up sort of in the chest area, or various other parts of your body. And wherever you feel that this cording has rooted, I want you to imagine it like a large rope and almost like a tug of war game where both parties are pulling back and forth. And simply all you do is you let go of the rope and just let it be pulled by that other party, and the root, the complete attachment, your permission in that attachment has been visually and energetically released. So this is the practice that I recommend, that I really enjoy, and I find that it feels more gentle and more empowering, and it really gets at the root of it. And after you've released and let go of that tug of war, that cord or that rope, check in with where the cord had inserted itself. And if you notice that there are any gaps or punctures or tears that seem like they're there in the auric field left behind by that cord, I just like to imagine or visualize taking a needle and thread and very lovingly and gently just sewing up or closing that field. Another way that you can do this is you can imagine your auric field almost like sand on glass. And if there's any gaps or spaces, just smoothing the sand and sealing those up. So that is my favorite and recommended practice for releasing energetic cords. I hope you guys try it out. I would love to hear from you if you do, how it worked for you and what came up for you and what it felt like during the release process. So let me know in the comments if you guys try this out. Otherwise, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe if you have not already to my channel, and if you hit the bell button below, that will also give you notifications anytime I post a new video. It has been such a joy and pleasure to connect with you guys today. All my love. Until next time. Bye.